Guys, I'm Bob, K6UDA, and welcome to the K6UDA show. If you haven't been here before, mainly ham radio show. But this year, like I said, we're going to be diving into some deeper issues, some important issues. And one of those important issues to me is developing a plan for when things go wrong. And this time, we're going to take apart the Brodowski family plan. This is my personal family plan. This has everything in it that we need as a family to guide us through an emergency. So anyway, we'll talk about that this time on K6UDA Radio. Let's do this. Welcome back to the big show. This is the first of 2024 that we're not going to specifically deal with radio issues. Today, I want to talk about developing a plan, kind of like building a business from the ground up. Before we get into it, I want to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. Please, the biggest thing is to leave a comment. Let me know, is this content what you guys want to see right now? If you're so inclined, on Saturday mornings, I do a preparedness net called the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. And we talk about all kinds of things on that net. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time, 1600 UTC, Wires X node 40448. That is the Idaho command. YSF 56026. That's YouTubers, or live on YouTube. Hopefully soon it'll be Rumble if I figure out a few of the technical things. Anyway, hope to see you over there. Let's get on to the show. So now that we're talking about some important issues, I want to talk about how to begin, how to organize things, and something that I did, I think that makes a huge difference. Well, it made a huge difference to me. And this was the creation of what I call the family plan. This was a long time ago. Everybody in the family got a copy of this in a binder. So here is my family plan binder. I had broken this thing up into sections. This was my copy. I wrote it, so I knew it. I gave a copy of this to all my kids and my parents. So everybody in the family kind of had an idea of the page we were on and what to do in different kinds of emergencies. So one of the things I added into the family plan were physical maps, how to get to our house from everybody's separate locations. I put in the primary way to get there, the alternate way to get there. So when everybody was under a panic and scared and the kids are crying, they had different ways to get to the house. The next section I put in there were important documents. Things like licenses, passports, pink slips for cars, the title to your house, an assault weapon registration, maybe if you live in the People's Republic. The next section I put together were inventories. Inventories of ammunition, inventories of food, some light reading. Just in case the worst happened, everybody could actually sit down and read about what was possibly going on and why it was going on. And finally, I included all these documents and more on a memory stick, just in case when everything was over, the memory stick would work and there would be a computer that you could plug it into. You could then easily print out all the documents that you needed. Ow, just raked my head with the glasses. That sucks. Crap. All right. So, getting back to my story. Ow. Obviously, Christmas of 2013, when I handed these things out to my kids, I wasn't the most popular dad in America. As a matter of fact, that's what earned me my nickname of Daddy Doomsday, but I digress. How do you start this family plan? This is, at its most basic, a PACE plan. Once things start getting back to normal and you need to start proving who you are, where you belong, what you own, I don't know if once shit hits the fan, if we're ever going to be able to put our lives back together, if we're ever going back to our old houses, if we've bugged out, if we're going to be using the old vehicles, if we even need to have licenses for things like ham radio, GMRS. So obviously, as life starts to get back to normal, if it ever does, you want to be prepared. You want to have the documents that you're going to need, and you want to have them handy. If you need it, it's nice to have all those documents right there, the birth certificates, the marriage certificates, deeds to the house, titles to the car. Now, as far as the documentation, the stuff, the meat and potatoes, well, your documents are the meat and potatoes. As far as the fluff, the instructions to yourself and your family, that can be as detailed or brief as you want. You can include things like inventories of food, ammunition, other things, tools, anything that's important to you. I would include things like paper maps with turn-by-turn instructions on how to get to your bug-out location or the family member who's in the most stable position. If you've got procedures for doing things like putting a manual wellhead on your well, or what to do in case of a power outage, how to fill the toilet or how to fill the bathtub with water very quickly, in case you're not able to do it, or in case you've got a case of the panics when something happens, you've got something that you can turn to and get yourself some very basic instructions customized to your family's needs. I hope you got a little something out of this. I know it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, and it will be a big deal someday. It's funny, I wrote things in this family plan of mine 20 years ago, before it was fashionable to talk about things like EMPs, foreign attacks, civil unrest. For some reason, I saw that stuff back in 2013, and I talked about it to myself, to my future self. Anyway, guys, again, subscribe if you haven't, like it if you do, and I will catch you guys on the next video. I'm Bob, K6UDA 73. Later.